Now it's time, snuggle up, little one. Hold me tight, snuggle up, day is done.
It's bedtime with Barney all over the world. Bedtime with Barney for all boys and girls.
Oh, I love story time. Now it's time, snuggle up, little one. Let me read just for you. You're the one.
It's bedtime with Barney, so come gather round. Bedtime with Barney.
And we're story bound. Hello again. This is your friend Barney, and I've got a story just for you. The story is called The Turnip. And do you know what a turnip is? It's a little round vegetable about the size of a baseball. And when it grows, most of it is down in the ground. But the top pokes up out of the ground and has pretty green leaves. Now, are you ready to be a good listener? Are you cozy? Great! Now, while I tell the story, you can use your imagination. Here we go. Once upon a time, in a country called Russia, there was a nice little farm with a few ducks and chickens and just one cow. And this little farm was the home of a nice old man and the wife he loved very much.
Tomorrow, Irina, I will plant vegetables in our little field.
Oh, Vladimir, you should plant some turnips. They are my favorite.
Then you can make turnip stew, and that is my favorite.
So on the morning of a beautiful spring day, the old man went out to his field and got ready to plant seeds.
This year I will grow the very best vegetables in the village. First, I will hoe the ground.
And the old man took his hoe, which is something you use to dig in the dirt, and he made nice deep holes in the ground.
Now I will plant the seeds.
And the old man planted carrot seeds, and lettuce seeds, and lots of other seeds.
And last, I will plant some turnips because my wife Irina loves turnips best of all.
But when the old man looked into his bag of turnip seeds...
What? There is only one turnip seed. Well, I'll just have to do the best I can. I will plant this one little turnip seed, and I will take very good care of it.
Then the old man covered all of the seeds with dirt and sprinkled them with water. And when he was all finished, he got down on his hands and knees right where he had planted that one little turnip seed. And he bent his face down very close to the ground. And this is what he said.
Grow, little turnip, grow!
And then, because he had worked all day and the sun was going down, the old man packed up his garden tools and went home to his wife. And he ate a good hot dinner of red beet soup. But late that night, the turnip started to grow. And it grew, and grew, and grew. The next morning, when the old man and his wife came out to have a look, they couldn't believe what they saw.
Vladimir, look!
The turnip! It has grown in a single night.
And it is the biggest turnip in the world.
And they were right. That turnip was so big that the two of them could barely reach around it. And the big green leaves on top were as tall as the old man's hat.
You know, a turnip this big would make a lot of turnip stew.
And I would be happy to cook it.
Well then, I'll just pull this turnip right out of the ground. Stand back.
And the old man wrapped his arms around that big turnip and he pulled just as hard as he could. But the turnip didn't move. No, not at all.
Phew! I need help, Irina. Please wrap your arms around me and help me pull.
Of course, dear.
Ready? Pull!
And the old woman pulled the old man, and the old man pulled the turnip, but the turnip didn't move. No, not at all.
Wait here, Vladimir. I have an idea.
And the old woman went next door and got the little girl who lived there. And when they returned, the old man said,
Good. Let us all try together now. Pull!
and the little girl pulled the old woman, and the old woman pulled the old man, and the old man pulled that turnip. But the turnip didn't move. No, not at all. And the little girl said,
Let me get my brother. He can help.
and so the little girl ran to get her brother. And when they both returned, everyone stood in a long, straight line, holding on to each other.
Ready? Pull!
And the little boy pulled the little girl. The little girl pulled the old woman. The old woman pulled the old man. And the old man pulled the turnip. But, oh, the turnip didn't move. No, not at all. So the little boy said,
My dog is very strong. I will get him to help.
and the little boy ran to get his dog, a big, strong dog called a Siberian Husky. And when the two of them returned, everyone tried again.
Ready? Pull!
And the dog pulled the little boy. The little boy pulled the little girl. The little girl pulled the old woman. The old woman pulled the old man. And the old man pulled the turnip. And nothing happened. The turnip didn't move. No, not at all. So the dog went to ask the cat to help. And when the two of them returned, everyone tried again.
Ready? Pull!
The dog pulled the little boy. The little boy pulled the little girl. The little girl pulled the old woman. The old woman pulled the old man. The old man pulled the turnip. And this time, the turnip didn't move. No, not at all. So what do you think that cat did? That's right. She ran into the barn and asked a tiny little brown mouse to help. And when the two of them returned, everyone tried again. Say, maybe you can pretend to pull this time too.
Ready? Pull!
And the little mouse pulled the cat. The cat pulled the dog. The dog pulled the little boy. The little boy pulled the little girl. The little girl pulled the old woman. The old woman pulled the old man. And the old man pulled the turnip. And that giant turnip came right up out of the ground, and everyone fell down.
There it is at last. The biggest turnip in all the world.
And now, let us roll this giant turnip back to the house, and I will make turnip stew for everyone.
And when they got that giant turnip home, the old woman made the most delicious turnip stew ever, which they all sat down and ate together. And do you know what? That turnip was so big that they're probably still eating turnip stew to this very day. The end. Oh, that was a funny story, wasn't it? I didn't think that turnip would ever come up. Can you imagine what your favorite vegetable would be like if it was giant size? And how would that look on your table? Anyway, now that we're done pulling up that turnip, why don't you pull up your blanket for a good night's sleep. Time to sleep, time to dream, little one. Close your eyes, covers up, night has come. It's bedtime.